Alain Simplice Bougoueres, a candidate in Gabon's presidential election on April 12, 2025, is emphasizing national reconciliation in his program. His major proposal is the establishment of a sovereign national pardon fund. Candidate Alain Simplice Bougoueres' message is to unite the sons and daughters of Gabon in order to develop the country. He believes that the country has considerable resources for its development.
Dans une autre vie, j'ai travaillé avec le président de la transition.
In another life, I worked with the president of the transition. We worked together on a number of projects, and I think that the correctness with which and the efficiency and effectiveness of his actions militated in favor of his call for me to come and work with them. But that doesn't make me a subject. We are also at a time when we are rethinking Gabon.
Donc, nous sommes aussi à une période où nous repensons le Gabon.
Born on 29 February 1968 in Lastourville, in the province of Ogooué-Maritime, Alain Simplice Bougoueres has had an impressive career combining technical and political skills. A civil engineer, transport economist, and seasoned manager, he is a graduate of the most prestigious institutions, including the Mazoko Polytechnic in Gabon, the IAM in Senegal, and the Transport Economics Laboratory at Lyon 3 in France. With over 29 years' experience in leading companies and institutions, he has forged a reputation as a pragmatic, versatile, and ambitious technocrat.
Je compte sur tous les Gabonais qui nous écoutent. Je compte sur.
I'm counting on all the Gabonese people who are listening to us. I'm counting on the aims of our ancestors. You know, nature teaches us, nature guides us. I'm counting on all the people who, as our campaign progresses, we understand exactly what we are going to bring to the Gabonese Republic. I'm also counting on all the political parties in Gabon because, as you know, I'm the only candidate standing under the banner of a political party.
Qui se présente sous la bannière d'un parti politique.
An influential member of the Gabonese Democratic Party for many years, Alain Simplice Bougoueres was a member of the parliament and held several positions in the National Assembly, including chairman of the Communication Committee, before gradually breaking away from the party in the run-up to the 2023 presidential election. This break led to the creation of his own movement, the Gabonese Patriotic Party. With his political commitment, he wants to be the leader of the Gabonese nation in the 2025 presidential election. Of the 8 candidates competing in the presidential election, 2 stand out. On the one hand, Brice Clotaire Oligui Nguema, the current president of the transition who enjoys popular support, and on the other, former Prime Minister Alain-Claude Billy Biézé, whom many Gabonese see as the candidate of the rupture, despite the fact that he served for a long time under Ali Bongo. The people of Gabon have high expectations of the next president of the republic. They hope to see at the head of their country a leader who will be sensitive to their concerns. What we want is for the new president to think about improving conditions for young people, getting young people involved in a number of areas such as agriculture and the hotel industry, and reviewing the household basket. I'm just waiting for them to come and fix the road where I cross every day because children often fall off when it rains. Look, go and look at the bridge there and live next to it. First of all, we want to break with the system, not in words but in concrete terms. Secondly, the housewife's basket is excessively expensive. Gabonese men and women are struggling to meet their needs. The challenges of unemployment, education, insecurity, health, and infrastructure are all problems that the Gabonese people want the next president to resolve. The people of Gabon expect the next president to be able to restore the institutions of the republic and guarantee the country's political stability. And now, we finally want this restoration of institutions because I don't mind there being roads. I don't mind there being taxis. But if I have a taxi and there are no restored institutions, I don't think my business will be able to prosper. Whichever candidate is elected after the elections of 12 April, the first 100 days will be crucial in getting Gabon out of the doldrums into which it has been plunged for years. In the meantime, each candidate is deploying his or her own strategy and resources to attract voters in their favor. Public transport in Gabon is facing difficulties. The state of the routes and the cost of transport are the most worrying problems. The contraction in public transport highlights the urgent need for continued investment in infrastructure. At the end of the third quarter of 2024, however, the Gabonese transport sector posted an impressive recovery of 8.7% according to the Sectoral Economic Outlook published by the Ministry of Economy and Participations. We don't have a bus station in the loading and unloading zones. Today in this country, there is no bus station in Libreville or anywhere else. But the bus station is an instrument for regulating transport and helping to make it more efficient. According to the experts, cooperation between government, business and civil society players is crucial to overcoming these challenges. By encouraging constructive dialogue and involving all stakeholders, Gabon can not only strengthen its transport sector, but also lay the foundations for a more diversified and resilient economy. There is a serious need to involve as many nationals as possible in transport activities. Firstly, because it's a cry for jobs at a time when the issue of unemployment and jobs is at its height in our country. To solve the problems, the government has launched a major reform aimed at centralizing and modernizing the management of the transport sector from January 1st, 2025. Revitalizing the public transport sector would have a significant impact on the local economy. The province of Ogooué-Maritime, located in the west of Gabon, covers an area of 22,890 kilometers square, or 8.6% of the national territory, making it the second largest province in the country. Renowned for its natural worth, it is home to strategic resources such as oil, gas, and manganese. Port-Gentil, the province's economic capital, is a nerve center for trade in the oil sector, which generates almost 40% of the national GDP, consolidating the region's key role in the Gabonese economy.
L'Ogooué-Maritime, c'est la capitale économique du Gabon. C'est la province.
Ogooué-Maritime is the economic capital of Gabon, as well as the oil province par excellence. However, oil production, like other national resources, does not really benefit the people of Gabon. The impression is that these resources benefit the companies that exploit them more than the people who own the land. Despite its wealth of natural resources, Ogooué-Maritime faces some major challenges. Oil does not fully benefit the local population, and industry is struggling to diversify. Infrastructure, particularly in education and health, remains inadequate in the face of demographic and economic growth in Port-Gentil. It is a real shame. People are complaining about the underdevelopment in which they currently find themselves. When you look at Port-Gentil, it looks like practically nothing. It's the same situation as in other mining towns like Mwanda, Mouanana, and many others in Gabon. I can say it without hesitation, and I'm weighing my words carefully. The people are dragging the devil by the tail because you only have to meet them to see the reality of their situation. It's safe to say that these riches only benefit our country's political and administrative authorities. Ogooué-Maritime has strong economic potential thanks to its natural resources, tourism, and agriculture. However, major challenges such as the lack of infrastructure, low diversified investment, and high unemployment are holding back its development. Economic diversification and improved infrastructure are crucial to its future.